We're learning a 20-year-old girl was allegedly gang raped on the orders of a panchayat there, or the Bengali equivalent of a panchayat. Police suspect that 12 men raped this young woman. In fact, they have arrested the 12 men and the head of that panchayat. The rape taking place in a village in Birbhum, which we know, of course, is a home district of President Pranab Mukherjee. We have seen a spate of horrific rapes coming to light in West Bengal. Now, this woman was subjected to the brutality, allegedly, because she fell in love with a man from outside her community and refused to pay a fine that was supposedly imposed on her by this panchayat, and was then gang raped on their orders. The police have now arrested 13 people. We do understand that her medical tests are still pending. We have the Women and Child Development Minister from West Bengal, Shashi Panja, joining us on the phone line. Ms. Panja, thank you for speaking to us firstly, but what can you tell us about this case?
Well, yes, I have collected details, and to the extent that I have spoken to the girl myself from Calcutta, she is in the Shuri Hospital, which is a local hospital there in Birbhum, under good care. I have spoken to the superintendent of the hospital and also the CMOH of the district, the chief medical officer. After speaking to the girl, I have expressed my total support, the solidarity of the government, that we are with her. She is extremely brave, I would say. I could hear you were narrating the entire episode. We also spoke, and I assured her of total support, since it is a case which has to be dealt medically, so she has to be in hospital now, and have assured support in the sense that we have arranged for the counseling to handle the mental trauma.
Right.
I have spoken to the superintendent. I gathered her mother was there. She could not say clearly about her father because the language, the dialect is slightly different.
Okay.
But I understood her father was not there. But I gathered her father is no more.
All right. Ms. Panja, can you just tell us medically how is she right now? I mean, chillingly, we're hearing from her testimony. She said she lost count of how many men attacked her. The police believe it was 12.
No, she very clearly told me it was 13, including 13 people. And she also mentioned that they were the village guys. She knows them. And it is the social backwardness, the social backwardness which I was appalled at. And I told her that, I even asked her that as far as the medical tests, everything has been conducted in the hospital yesterday. I've spoken to the gynecologist too. But the point was the barbarity, of this situation is she was saying that, they were trying to clean her up after the episode. And as a medical doctor and even associated with gynecology, I even went into that detail. And it is appalling.
Appalling, and she told you clearly 13 men attacked her, 13 men raped her?
Yes, she said that, 13. She
May I ask you as well?
Clear, and you have to appreciate the grit, and you have to appreciate that how strong she was, even in such a situation. I even asked her,
but because I want to ask you though, because we're more used to hearing of Khap Panchayats in the north. We're hearing that here the Bengali equivalent, essentially the village head there, giving a decree to these men to go ahead and attack her. What can you tell us about that? Because you're talking about the backward.
There is no government say in this matter. It is something which they have built for themselves, a tribal court. So what I can really say on behalf of the government is we need to bring down those levels of we have to increase the levels of awareness. We have to really penetrate into them and say that this is not the way justice is to be meted out.
Absolutely. But is this a problem you see across the state? Because we, for one, as we focus on this, you're telling us about the barbarity, of course, and the lack of awareness. But what you have is essentially a panchayat. They're giving its decree to the rest of the villages.
It is a tribal court. Mind you, it is a tribal court.
Right.
It is
a tribal court.
And it is so, I would say, surprising that they thought that this was the only punishment which would be given. I mean, which we call domon on the woman. Usko dabane ke liye, like, is this the only thing they could think of? So somehow, our social structure and our values, which have been deeply ingrained, that this was the only way they could teach her a lesson.
Oh, like teaching her a lesson. We really
appreciate. As far as the state goes, I have already sent my social welfare officer. He's already on his way there, and we have assured of all support that if she's insecure, she's not going back home. We have already thought of her place in our home. There is a Swadhar home, there's a short stay home, whichever her choice is, and we will see that she slowly gets back to normal, as far as we can send out education to her, the health service, whatever, she's going to be ours now.
All right, we really appreciate the alacrity of your response. And speaking to us here, Shashi Panda, the Women and Child Development Minister from West Bengal, we have Shogoto Mukhopadhyay also joining us, who's been tracking this horrific case. Shogoto, we're seeing the West Bengal government react more quickly than we've seen in other cases, but undoubtedly a barbaric and appalling state of affairs there. This girl, very courageous, this 20-year-old, saying that 13 men brutally attacked her, identifying them, it also seems, as members of the village.
That's right, Amrita. It's almost a chilling rerun of the Mukhtaran Bai incident that happened in Muzaffarnagar in UP, the sensational incident that happened there about a few years ago. And it's almost the same incident, a girl in a relationship outside her community, the tribals obviously not taking it well and putting her in front of a kangaroo court, imposing a huge fine on her. She not able to pay the 25,000 rupees herself. She was tied to a tree along with her partner, and both of them were tortured all night, and especially this girl was raped all through the night by people who she knew as neighbors, as uncles, as brothers, and so on and so forth. So you can understand the trauma that this girl went through all night on late Tuesday, and it seems that now that all 13 people, all 13 accused have been arrested. They would be produced before a court in Birbhum, in the Bolpur subdivisional court in a short while from now. Obviously the police have jumped into action. They are not taking any chances, and like Dr. Panja said a short while ago, that also the Women and Child Development Department have also jumped into the fray, and they are trying to provide some support to the family as well as to the victim.
They're providing her counseling, sending a social welfare work